Hi, it's Diane Demetre here again. Today I'd like to share with you my practice of meditating. For the last 30 years I've been meditating, and I've cultivated a daily practice of going within to that lovely personal sanctuary within. And I've discovered there's 4 steps or 4 states of being when I meditate. Going within has always been my sanctuary. It's a place where I get to meet myself free of the distractions of the world that I live in. And of course there's lots of distractions, as you know. And by meditating, I came to appreciate the power and the peace and the poise of silence. Having been a choreographer and a dancer, the best routines are always those routines which combine stillness and movement. And I've realized that that's the same for meditating as well. We live such busy lives, and meditation gives us a moment of stillness in our lives to just regroup, and it complements the movement of my life. For me, meditation was, and still is, an eternal ebb, a lilting ebb and flow of the invisible activity of consciousness expressing itself. That's what I find meditation is for me. When I started meditating, I listened to guided meditations to help me because I was a beginner. And they helped me stop the chatter in my mind because somebody else was leading me through the visualization or the meditation. Every time I register a thought, I allow that thought to slip past. I don't focus on it. So if I think, oh, what am I going to do after this? I don't focus on it. I let it slip away, scamper away, and I don't resist it. And I return my focus gently but firmly to the silence and to the peace within myself. Over time and with application and practice over all these years, I learned to shut off the yammer in my head. And then I finally entered that wonderful silence and that wonderful peace and of wisdom without having to listen to guided meditations. And for me, meditation requires 4 states of being. The first state is to be centered. The second state is to be curious. The third state is to be receptive. And the 4th state is to be in communion. I'll try to explain those quickly for you. Being centered involves stillness and focus, and using all my attention to focus and be still on nothing else but the center of my being. And then being centered means absolute willingness and patience, because you can't move forward unless you're centered. Without being centered, your mind will simply reboot like a computer. It'll restart and all the programs will start happening again, and all your thoughts will just tumble forth unabated. So being centered is absolutely critical as the first state. And then once my mind is centered, I see it as the surface of a beautiful, tranquil lake, dark and only barely moving. It's effortless, there's no resistance. And then once I reach that state of being centered, then I become curious. And so I sit like a child would sit at the edge of the lake, looking out into the distance, not looking at anything in particular, but just wondering what's out there. And that's what being curious is about. And so once you're curious, you open the way then, and you become receptive, and you begin to listen and to look and to see and to explore. Meditation adds distinctions of discernment, and the more I've meditated, the more I've discerned my consciousness expanding. So basically, you become centered, you become curious, you become receptive, and then you can move into the state of being in communion, where you finally tap in to your being, and you can find and hear the still small voice within. Peace of mind will always render each of us a wonderful degree of poise, and I've learned through meditation that when I meditate and find peace, it gives me poise, and in that poise I can then take all action with absolute certainty. I'm no longer confused as to what's the best decision in any situation, and that's what I find meditation gives me. The peace and the poise wipes away all my fears and doubts, and I know which direction to take. There's an old saying that says prayer is talking to God and meditation is listening to God. And I think this sums up the essence of meditation in a divinely simple and practical way. So I'm going to post after this video a meditation video where I guide you through those 4 states of being. So please, I hope you'll join me on that one, and I hope you'll also subscribe to my channel and keep up to date with all the different posts I'll be making. In the meantime, if you're not already doing it, really consider putting meditation as part of your daily life and reap the benefits of going within. Bye-bye.